Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela, and we are the Castros.
We bring you the news.
And the views that make you think.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we don't.
This is News and Views.
And here are today's headlines.
Senator Ping Lacson praises Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste for rejecting an alleged 360 million pesos bribe linked to infrastructure projects. Meanwhile, Leviste's office confirms that the case against a DPWH district engineer will be filed tomorrow, August 26.
President Bongbong Marcos blasted what he called economic sabotage after inspecting a 260 million peso rock shed project in Benguet.
Philippine and Australian forces are stepping up their defense partnership, holding joint drills as part of exercise along 2025.
The Foreign Affairs Department clarified that no Filipinos were among those killed in a bus crash in New York.
First in the news, President Bongbong Marcos is calling out what he describes as economic sabotage after inspecting a 260 million peso rock shed project in Benguet. Here's the report.
Only one lane is now passable along this portion of Cannon Road in Sitio Camp 6, Tuba, Benguet. That's because part of the road collapsed, leaving massive rocks, soil, and mud blocking the way. Some of the debris even slid down to the river bank. This prompted President Bongbong Marcos to express disappointment during his inspection of the recently completed rock shed in the area.
You can see for yourself na talagang hindi trinabaho ng mabuti ito.
The Department of Public Works and Highways spent more than 260 million pesos for the construction of the rock shed from January 2023 to April 2025. But the President questioned what he saw on the ground.
Sa ilalim ng kalsada, which is the most important part, ay wala na. Talagang na-erode na. Dahil yung slope protection dito sa baba, sa tabi ng ilog, ay napakababa at napakahina.
DPWH Cordillera denied that slope protection was part of the project, which is normally used to prevent landslides along rivers and streams.
Ang pinanggalingan ng slide is sa taas. It's not even part of the project. It's not part of the road right-of-way. So yung malalaking bato na tumipak doon sa existing na slope protection. Actually, yung slope protection dito is constructed since 20,000. So, 15 years na yung life ng slope protection na existing dito.
But for the President, the failed project amounts to economic sabotage. That's because more than 30% of residents have lost their livelihood after half of the road was damaged.
It is not only the damage, the physical damage that we can see, but it is also the damage to the economy. It is also the damage to the people's livelihood. Tinanggal sa kanila 35% ng kanilang hanap buhay para ibulsa ang pera ng gobyerno.
The local government of Tuba has already written to DPWH to expedite repairs.
Ang trabaho nila is standard, hindi substandard. Kasi kami naman maapektuhan pag mag-aaksyon kami, hindi naman kami inaaksyonan.
The President added that the government will end up spending double to fix the problem, a claim disputed by DPWH.
This is 260 million project. Useless. Parang tinapon mo yung pera sa ilog. Useless. To correct this will cost double that. Para ayusin yung binigay ninyong problema sa amin, it will cost another 260 million, probably double 260 million, hanggang 500 million na yan.
No, our initial estimate here is more or less around 100 million. Wala naman tayong i-restore dito sa rock shed. Ang i-restore natin is yung nasira ng bagyo.
Aside from the rock shed, the President also inspected a rock netting project along another section of Cannon Road. He stressed that corruption is also rampant in such projects.
Napaka-notorious ng rock netting to sa korupsyon, pinagbawal na. Pero ginawa pa rin. Ang presyo ng rock netting is 3,200 pesos. Ang chinarge sa gobyerno is more than 12,000 pesos. So times 4. Times 4. So 75% ng kontrata kinikback.
The president vowed to restore the power of local governments to scrutinize infrastructure projects in their areas, including flood control.
And now to talk more about President Bongbong Marcos's recent inspection in Benguet, we have Atok Mayor Franklin Laberinto Smith joining us over the phone. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Mayor. Thanks for joining us.
Magandang umaga ho, ma'am. At sa mga viewers ng TV station nyo.
Mayor, would just like to get your comment on the recent statement of President Bongbong Marcos saying na economic sabotage itong mga nangyayaring flood control projects as well yung kanyang binisita dyan sa Benguet. Your reaction to that?
That would be a case-to-case, ma'am. Kasi pa rin yan sa munisipyo ng Tuba, unlike our municipality. Kasi yung mga implementation ng flood control dito sa amin, maayos naman po. Maayos naman yung mga flood control dito sa amin.
So sa ngayon po, walang problema ang Atok Benguet pagdating po sa mga usapin ng flood control? Never po kayo, in your term po, wala po kayong mga na-encounter na mga problema pagdating po dito sa mga flood control?
Wala po, ma'am, kasi maganda naman yung pagkagawa, saka maganda naman yung mga materials na ginamit dito. And kung maaari nga sana, marami pang kailan na maayos dito.
Pero Mayor, yes, go ahead,
Sir?
Mayor, sorry. Go ahead po.
Yes. Yun ang natin dito para maprotektaran yung mga rice fields ng farmers natin dito. Actually, 2 barangay ang kailan na ma-implementar yung flood control dito, Barangay Paston and Barangay Nagay ho.
Mayor, tulad po ng ibang kasing LGU, ang reklamo nila, yung pag gumagawa daw ng project ang DPWH, dito nagko-coordinate sa LGU. Sa inyo po ba nagko-coordinate naman ng maayos ang DPWH?
Yes. They coordinated with us, but if pag natapos na yung project, pero nakikita ko naman so far, kasi palagi naman tayo dumadaan doon, nakikita ko naman na maayos yung trabaho nila.
You mentioned po marami pa pong dapat asikasuhin dyan sa Atok Benguet. Can you tell us more about it? And have we seen so far kung ano po yung plano ng national government on those concerns?
Dito, we have to, sa aming part kasi may mga barangay na it is located on a mountainous area. Yung sa lowland part, yung sinabi natin na kailan na may implement yung mga flood controls doon to protect the rice fields of our farmers doon. Pero dito sa plan, since we're promoting tourism in our municipality, ang kailan natin, maayusin natin yung farm to market road natin kasi tamang-tama lang yung mga sasakyan. Saka isa pa, mas maganda kung maayos ito para comfortable yung mga bisita na umakyat dito. Actually, ang bisita natin dito galing sa, dyan sa inyo po, sa Manila, sa South, as far as Mindanao. And sometimes, may mga international din na namamasyal rin dito sa amin, ma'am.
You mentioned nga po na wala po kayong problema pagdating sa flood control projects, but time and again may mga balita rin po tayong nailalahad dito sa atin na may mga pagbaha po dyan po sa area ninyo, may mga nasasawi dahil nga po sa mga pagbaha. Ano po yung nakikita nating problema doon? Ano po yung dapat ma-address?
I-address natin, we have to strengthen. At totoo yung sinabi ni Presidente na our Department of Public Works and Highways should coordinate well with the local government unit in order that projects will be implemented.
And sa kabuuan, what is your take on the overall issue po pagdating po sa flood control projects, hindi lamang po sa inyong lugar but also sa mga karating lugar po ng Atok Benguet dahil kayo po ay magkakatabi. Kapag po sila ay natamaan ng baha at talaga pong nagkaroon po ng mga soil erosion, apektado rin po kayo. Nakikita po ba natin na magiging maayos at magkakaroon po ng solusyon pagdating po dito sa ganitong klaseng probing?
Oo, yan, I'm looking forward for that. Na for ma-implement yung project in a way that it would be a collaborated effort between our highways and the local LGUs, and that would be a case-to-case basis.
Right. Okay.
Diba yung, oh yeah, yes ma'am.
Opo. Kasi meron po tayong mga reports po dito ng mga importanteng mga flood control projects na inilalaan sa iba't ibang lugar. Ano? Nakita po natin yung mga most flooded areas like Bulacan, Isabela. Andyan po ba sa Atok Benguet yung mga flood control projects po ninyo? Magkano po yung inilalaan po para sa inyo? If you would know.
Yung sa akin, mas maganda na it would be validated both with our engineering office and at the same time sa highways para malaman natin yung exact appropriation for that, ma'am.
Alright, sige, maraming salamat po sa iyong oras at we'll be keeping in touch with you, Mayor Atok Benguet Mayor Franklin Laberinto Smith. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and more power and God bless ho.
All right. The governor of Pampanga says that even with hundreds of flood control projects, flooding in the province continues to worsen every time a storm hits. Here is the report.
Pampanga Governor Lilia Pineda admitted she had little knowledge of most flood control projects in the province. According to the Sumbong sa Pangulo website, Pampanga received 293 flood control projects from 2022 to 2025. With a total cost exceeding 14.5 billion pesos.
Sa totoo lang, pati si Vice Gov, tinatanong ko siya, alam mo ba to? Sabi niya, hindi ko pa nakita yan kasi wala namang coordination sa akin.
The governor personally inspected only the slope protection project in Candating Arayat, which was built in 2018 for 20 million pesos. Frequent damages have required additional repair funds of 91.6 million pesos in 2023 and 183 million pesos in 2024. Pineda advised the Department of Public Works and Highways to halt the project, citing design flaws and inefficiency.
Kasi sayang yung pera. Kahit dagdagan mo pa ng bilyon yan, wala na talaga yan kasi wala sa design. Hindi talaga nararapat na gawin.
Despite this, repair work by the contractor Edma Reconstruction and Trading continues. This was confirmed by the chief of Candating Village.
Hindi naman po sila uminto sa kakagawa kung paano po ma-resolve yung project na nasira.
Edma Reconstruction is a frequent contractor for various projects in Pampanga. Pineda also noted that flooding in the province has worsened, with water levels now reaching chest height in some areas, up from knee level before.
Sa halip na bumaba yung tubig, lalong lumala. Dati hanggang tuhod lang, hanggang bewang, ngayon hanggang dibdib na.
The office of Batangas 1st District Representative Leandro Leviste confirms that a case will be filed against a DPWH district engineer on Tuesday. Leviste's office said corruption in DPWH should not be tolerated and stressed the importance of proper oversight in government projects. Senator Panfilo Lacson commended Leviste for rejecting what he said was a bribe worth up to 360 million pesos. And expressed hope that other public officials would follow his example. Leviste is currently investigating flood control projects in his district, noting that many of them are substandard.
Now in weather, Pag-asa continues to monitor a low-pressure area within the Philippine territory. The LPA was last spotted some 365 kilometers east of Maasin City, southern Leyte. Its chance of developing into a tropical depression remains slim as of the moment, but it is already bringing scattered rains over Visayas, Bicol, northern Mindanao, and Caraga. Habagat, meanwhile, will trigger rains over Zamboanga Peninsula, Occidental Mindoro, and Palawan. Metro Manila and the rest of the country may also experience rains due to localized thunderstorms.
Pero while we commending sa bribe na commendable na at least may mga kasuhan na. Pero yung 360 million pesos kasi, yung isang district engineer, wala naman sariling perang ganyan. So in other words, saan nanggaling yung pera na yan? Yung backer.
Galing yan dun sa ano?
No, totoo. Hindi. Yung pinupunto ko dito, habulin din nila kung sino yung source ng funds ng district engineer na ginagamit niya yung pera na yun to bribe. Kasi,
Because seriously speaking, hindi naman gagalaw itong mga we understand na may scheme yan, di ba? Ng mga higher-ups kung hindi sila sinusuportahan.
Pero ang point ito kasi, tignan mo yung salary grade ng DPWH district engineer. Hindi mo kaya bayaran yan to bribe. So that means there's somebody...
Hindi, nakuha na nga daw yung ano dun sa
No,
mga
but I'm saying,
proyekto.
Miski na, to get that amount of money, there is somebody funding you, di ba? And asking you, oy, ano mo naman para ma-approve yung project, tapos ako i-appoint mo sa... Sino ang
But this time, kasi the bribe is to stop the investigation doon sa Batangas.
Yeah, but the mere fact...
investigation doon sa flood control project.
In other words, may backer pa rin si district engineer. Kahit gaano ka corrupt, 360 million, he doesn't have that amount of money yet, district engineer ka lang eh. Diba? So higher up
Malay mo
meron
nga
dyan.
nagaling nga dun sa mga nakurakot sa allegedly sa mga
I don't
flood
think so,
control
that
projects.
much money.
But yun nga sinasabi
Small
ko
fish
lagi.
yan eh.
Scheme yan. And it's a collusion, sabi nga nila.
There are bigger fish in this pond. In other words,
Ngayon, natutuwa tayo, di ba, may development, may mga ma-hold accountable dito sa mga nangyayari. But also, we would like to get yung
big fish.
Yung big fish dito.
pero ang maganda dyan, the small fish, pag napikon sila, dahil
When
pinipiga
pressed.
sila, di ba, piniga mo, sana ikanta nila kung sino yung big fish nila.
Yes.
Alright.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. Philippine and Australian forces are stepping up their defense partnership, holding joint drills in Palawan to simulate the recapture of territory from enemy control. Here's a report.
The F-A-50 fighter jet of the Philippine Air Force flew in formation with the F-18 Super Hornet of the Royal Australian Air Force over San Vicente, Palawan. This is part of the ongoing Allen exercise, designed to show how a combined Philippine-Australian force could operate if part of the country's territory needed to be reclaimed from enemy control.
It is very significant because sa nakikita natin ng mga threats that we are facing, Palawan is one of those areas. No? So we have to be able to rehearse the defense of our western seaboard.
Defense Secretary Gibot Teodoro and Australian Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles personally observed the drills.
The exercise was very, very impressive. And this is a new venue. And you saw that the coordination between both the Australian forces and the Philippine forces were smooth.
This is about building the interoperability between two countries which share values and have one intent, and that is to uphold the rules-based order in this region.
Last Friday, the Philippines and Australia signed a joint statement of intent to develop a defense cooperation agreement. While the move may be seen as provocative by China, Secretary Teodoro dismissed such concerns.
The criticism basically of the PRC is really paranoia, and it is a propaganda line. Their criticisms are propaganda, which for them and fortunately for us is not working.
The drills come amid rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea, including recent Chinese incursions at a Yungin shoal, which AFP successfully repelled. AFP Western Command confirmed that troops remain on high alert and ready to respond to any situation.
Nakausap ko sila and they are in high spirits despite yung nangyari. We are always on alert.
The defense team of former President Rodrigo Duterte is continuing its bid to disqualify International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan from the proceedings. Defense lawyer Nicholas Kaufman said the request is still active and awaiting a decision from the appeals chamber. Kaufman clarified that an earlier statement saying the defense would not block proceedings came from an April filing that was only recently made public. At the time, the defense did not know about Khan's prior work representing victims who had asked the ICC to investigate the Philippines. Duterte is currently detained in The Hague while awaiting trial on charges of crimes against humanity over his war on drugs.
Now let's get a reaction from ICC accredited lawyer Joel Butuyan regarding this development. Good morning po, attorney, and thanks for joining us again. Nakamute po kayo, attorney.
Sorry about that. Thank
Ayan.
you.
Good,
Good morning,
good.
Angela,
Nice.
Angela, and thanks for having me.
All right, so what do you make of this news that the defense team of former President Duterte is pushing to disqualify ICC prosecutor Karim Khan? First, merong denial, may push for disqualification, then there's denial na lumabas, as ngayon, no, they're still pushing for it.
Yeah, there was actually a confusion, Angela, no? Because there was a submission, a request or a motion filed by the defense earlier this year to sought the disqualification of Mr. Karim Khan. And the submissions were heavily redacted. And then came last August 15 a publicized manifestation of Mr. Kaufman saying that they are no longer seeking the disqualification of Mr. Khan.
Right.
And then three days after, there was a reiteration of their motion to disqualify Mr. Khan. So there was really confusion on the part of the public. I think there was inadvertence on the part of the ICC because per Mr. Kaufman's statement, his manifestation saying that he no longer, that he does not seek the disqualification of Mr. Khan was a submission of his in April, in April. And so that's like before August. So apparently after April, after his manifestation that he's no longer seeking the disqualification of Mr. Khan, he alleges that he obtained information volunteered by Mr. Khan, which made him renew his application for Mr. Khan's disqualification. No? He's saying that he found out that Mr. Khan represented more than 100 victims in 2018 in seeking for the then prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to apply for formal investigation, for authorization to investigate the Philippine situation. So that's the context.
Okay. So what do you make of this move? Is this a legal move or a political one? I don't know.
Well, objectively for me, I think there's really no ground to disqualify Mr. Khan, no? Because even if he was part of a team of lawyers who signed the letter to the former ICC prosecutor seeking for the prosecutor to apply for authority to investigate, that means that there was no case at that time,
Right.
no? And they were only seeking for authorization to conduct an investigation. So there was no investigation happening yet at that time, no? It was just the former prosecutor looking at news articles and finding out if there is basis to seek an authority to formally investigate. So wala pang investigation na nangyari.
Totoo.
No, they were just, Mr. Khan and the other lawyers of the victims were only prodding the former prosecutor to start an investigation.
Given a lot of issues are hounding si Prosecutor Khan, attorney, no? Ano yung significance nito for the defense to discredit him or at the very least para matanggal siya when we all know naman he's not really anymore directly involved with the case against former President Duterte?
Tama yun, Angelo, no? Kasi if we compare by analogy, no, the position of Karim Khan, he's like the DOJ secretary.
Yes.
No? But the team that is really involved on the ground to do the investigation, it's headed by his deputy prosecutor, Nyang.
Yes,
no?
that's right.
Mami Nyang, no? And there is a team of lawyers who are doing the investigation. It's not actually Mr. Khan who is involved in the investigation. So I think there's really no ground to even disqualify him because in the first place, he's not involved in the investigation itself.
But what about if, like, for the spirit of fairness, what about if the prosecutor or the defense would bring up the other allegations of Karim Khan? Would that also affect the investigation?
It will not also affect the investigation like the supposed sexual misconduct. No? It has nothing to do with the case, no? And if at all it only involves Mr. Khan, it does not involve the team that's really working day in and day out to investigate and firm up the charges against Mr. Rodrigo Duterte.
And attorney, simultaneous to this, no, they are also filing for yung at least in temporary liberty, no?
Yeah.
One of the
Interim
remedies
release.
that the defense team is pushing. What do you make of this? Kasi alam ko they did this before and parang tumihimik sandali and they're pushing for it again. And I think they added other grounds daw for liberty or raising health questions. So ano ang interpretation mo dito, attorney?
Yes, actually, they have renewed their application for interim release, no? Nung una, they filed for it, and then they said, teka, no? Freeze muna. And then now they're renewing their application. And in their renewed application, they divulge more information. And it appears that they're grounding it principally on health reasons, no? On the health of the former president. But I think the metrics, the parameters on whether or not to grant interim release is not so much on the health issues, because the health issues, they can be addressed by medical assistance. No, in fact, if you go through the media interviews of the family members of Mr. Duterte, they're consistent in saying that he looks well, that he's doing well. No, there's no report at all from the family that he's in dire health condition. No, so that itself, it really contradicts the supposed ground to seek his interim release on health reasons. No, but I think the most important consideration in whether or not interim release should be granted is is there a flight risk, no?
Yeah.
And for the victims and for those helping the victims, there is really a flight risk, no? Even if we say that he's already 80 years old, pero hindi lang naman siya, no? Ang dami niyang supporters who can actually implement his flight, no? And there are so many people who want him to go back. No? In fact, there's a campaign to bring him home, no? And second, yung issue ng will it endanger the victims and the witnesses? It will really endanger. It will really put the lives and the safety of the victims and the witnesses in danger. Kasi ngayon nakakulong siya sa ICC detention facility. His conversations are monitored. Now if he's going to be under house arrest and he's going to have a caretaker, it's going to be very easy for him to divulge witnesses and victims who will participate through persons who will communicate or converse or be with him without monitoring from the ICC. So it will really endanger the lives of witnesses and victims.
Attorney, sorry, just to add up to lang the other day, last week, no, we were talking to Attorney Conti, and we're saying that she was also saying that probably pwedeng grounds na gamitin to reject also this bid is the mere fact that even while he's in jail, his daughter is still the Vice President of the Philippines. And case in point, yung impeachment complaint against her was summarily archived, or let's stop short of saying it was dismissed. Therefore, there is a sphere of influence.
There is a sphere of influence, no? I agree with Attorney Conti, no, that the Duterte forces and supporters are really strong. They're very influential, and they can actually endanger the proceedings in the ICC, endanger the lives of the witnesses and the victims.
Well, let's go to the process of this case, attorney, because I hope you can enlighten us and also our viewers. So, on September 23, if I'm not mistaken, is the confirmation of charges. So, what happens there po and after?
The confirmation of charges proceedings, which will happen from September 23 to 26. This is the stage where the prosecution will lay down the charges against Mr. Duterte. Now, in the application for arrest warrant, the prosecution cited 43 murder incidents, no? And they also cited crimes of torture and, if I'm not mistaken, sexual violence, no? But the pretrial chamber, the judges only sustained the murder charges. No, it said that there's not enough evidence to sustain the other charges. No, but in the confirmation of charges, the prosecutor will have the option to expand the charges. It can go beyond the 43. There can be more 43 murder incidents, and there could be other crimes, no, that can be charged theoretically, but we don't know. And then the process that's going to happen during the confirmation of charges in September is the prosecution will present a summary of evidence to convince the judges that we should proceed to trial based on these crimes that are that Mr. Rodrigo Duterte is accused of. Now, the defense has submitted, no, practically a manifestation saying that they're not going to introduce any witnesses, they're not going to introduce any documents or any kind of evidence. What they're going to do is argue on the basis of legalities. So, kumbaga, susubukan nilang bubutas-butasan, no, yung ebidensya ng prosecution and try to convince the judges na dapat hindi tumuloy sa trial yung kaso dahil allegedly walang ebidensya na sufficiente to charge Mr. Duterte.
Kumbaga, attorney, what the defense is going to try to do is, number one, raise the issue of the manner of which he was arrested, and number two, question of jurisdiction. Pero hypothetically, attorney, if this goes to trial and ito ang platform ng defense team, ano mangyayari?
Ang mangyayari niyan, Angelo, ay ang korte ay magde-decide base lang sa ebidensya ng prosecution. No? Kumbaga, titignan niya kung sufficiente yung ebidensya ng prosecution, and at the same time, titignan niya na kung yung mga butas na pinopoint out ng defense would amount to reasonable doubt. No? Pero I would suppose that during the trial itself, no, while during the confirmation of charges, the defense has telegraphed its strategy that it will not present evidence. During the trial, they can still opt to present witnesses and evidence.
So it doesn't mean na nagsasalitang tapos na.
Yes.
So the
tama
question,
yun.
attorney, just to clarify, in question of jurisdiction and the manner in which he was arrested has to be raised prior to the during the confirmation of charges, or it can be raised as the trial goes along?
It has actually been raised, no? And it's pending, no? It's pending resolution by the chamber, no? And it should be decided. It should be decided as soon as possible. So that it will not derail or postpone or reschedule the trial that will happen if the charges are confirmed.
Attorney, on the other topic naman po, well, of course, kay Pangulong Duterte pa rin, ano, yung sinasabi po nila na pag-attend niya sa hearing noon sa Congress regarding nga po dun sa TRICOM, yung mga nilahad po niya doon and also yung mga books written about this war on drugs, pwede daw po ba itong gamitin during the trial?
Pwede lahat gamitin, lalo na lahat yung mga statements niya that were made under oath, no? Because he testified in Congress under oath, no? So, alam mo, ang pinagkaiba ng kaso ni Mr. Duterte sa mga kaso ng mga ibang dinesisyonan ng ICC, ang dami-daming salita, ang dami-daming admissions si Mr. Duterte,
right,
no? That can be used against him and that should be used against him, no? Dahil talagang napakalakas ng mga ebidensya na yon. Dahil nakikita natin o maalala natin, pag sinabi niyang ganito, kill, makikita natin rin ang dami-daming patayan na susunod, no? Pag sinabi naman niya na suspended muna, hindi lang yung mga patayan na involving mga pulis ang tumitigil, kundi pati yung mga riding in tandem na mga patayan tumitigil. So, makikita natin there was really orchestration from the top. Na meron talagang nagkukumpas, no? And it cannot be other than Mr. Duterte himself.
If there, follow-up question ko lang, attorney, if meron pong request to get those statements na nangyari po during the hearing, meron po bang option ang, let's say, ang Congress to deny that request? Or kailangan po nila sumunod?
Angela, I think those are publicly available
Right.
videos and
So, pwede na lang doon kunin.
nasa
hindi na
website
kailangan
mismo.
i-request.
No? So,
Sabagay,
ang
oo.
hirap nilang i-deny yung mga ganyan. And in fact, ang daling i-authenticate dahil talagang makikita at makukuha mo sa website ng Congress mismo.
Attorney, given, of course, yung confirmation of charges lalabas na at lalabas yung ibang co-accused dito. So do we expect any other arrests coming soon? You mentioned kanina from yung kumpas ni former President Duterte sa drug war. So may mga galamayan.
Oo. Doon nga sa application for warrant of arrest, merong mga 8 or 9 additional names whose identities were redacted, no?
Okay.
Na tinawag na co-conspirators ni Mr. Duterte. And I think ang nangyayari dyan is they separated the investigation with respect to those, no? I
Okay.
think inuunahin nila itong kaso ni Mr. Duterte and nandun yung option that they will be applying for a warrant of arrest for the additional co-conspirators, no? Eventually. Pero mukhang magiging separate trial itong kay Mr. Duterte kasi umuusad na, no?
Yes.
Siguro they're just firming up the evidence against the others, no? So, but we are hopeful that there's going to be more because it was not only Mr. Duterte, no, who implemented this despicable crimes that happened in one of the darkest periods of our nation's history.
Pero attorney, historically sa ICC, pag may kasong ganito, ngayon umuusad na yung main conspirator, yung main proponent o yung litisin. Do we expect them within this year, yung mga conspirators?
Well, hopefully within this year or early next year sana, no? Pero talagang we're really speculating dahil talagang
understand.
talagang redacted lahat. Although kung tutuusin natin, halos pare-pareho naman dapat yung ebidensya laban sa lahat ng mga conspirators dahil talagang they acted in unison, in symphony, no? So talagang maraming similar and common evidence against them.
Doon po sa nakikita natin na request po nila for interim release, sabi niyo nga po heavily redacted at nakalagay doon na meron silang nakausap na bansa na maaaring kumupkop, no, kay former President Rodrigo Duterte doon sa kanyang possible interim release. But on your side po, meron din po ba kayo naiisip na kung anong bansa yun?
Alam mo, Angela, nung una, ang aking suspicion was yung sinasabi nila pumayag ng country would have to be an adjacent country, a neighboring country of the Netherlands kasi merong obligation pa rin yung interimly released accused to attend trial, no? Pero
yes.
dito sa and in the past yung Belgium yung country na who has agreed to host accused who were granted interim release. Pero itong sa bagong submission ni Mr. Kaufman, parang sinasabi niya na they are willing to waive yung personal presence ni Mr. Duterte sa trial. So mukhang magsususpecha tayo na baka hindi karatig bansa ng Netherlands. It could be some other country not a neighbor of the Netherlands, no? So talagang sobrang
medyo malayo yun.
Palaisipan kung sino yung country na ito. At sinasabi pang in the past, hindi tumatanggap ng mga ganitong interim release accused itong bansang ito. It was opposed to it actually. So talagang interesting talaga.
In the recent cases, before we let you go, attorney, may mga may mga nag-grant ba na interim release na before?
Similar position to President Duterte?
Hindi, meron na mga nag-grant na interim release pero hindi kasing bigat ng kaso ni Mr. Duterte. Kasi yung mga iba were just charged with yung violation or yung mga interference in the administration
not
of
for
justice.
crimes against humanity.
Hindi yung kasing bigat na crime against humanity na charges ni Mr. Duterte.
All right, thank you for your time, Attorney Joel Butuyan, an ICC-accredited lawyer, for joining us via Zoom.
Very clear insights from him. All right, the Foreign Affairs Department clarified that no Filipinos were among those killed in a bus crash in New York. DFA spokesperson Angie Escolana said this was confirmed after New York State Police identified all of the victims. 5 people were killed while more than a dozen others were injured in the incident or the accident. The Philippine Consulate General reported that 3 Filipinos, all of them OFWs, based in Qatar, who were in New York as tourists, were among those involved in the incident. They have been medically cleared, discharged from the hospital, and are now safe.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News and Views here on One News.
The Department of Transportation launched the iconic Love Bus in Davao City and Cebu, which offers free rides to the public. The buses run on selected routes from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Each bus is equipped with CCTV cameras and free Wi-Fi for commuters. First introduced in the 1970s, the program returns to provide safe and convenient transportation for passengers.
Uy, gusto ko lang masabi,
Nabutan mo yan?
napaka-nostalgic. Oo naman. Sumakay kami dyan ng mami ko. Tapos,
Hindi ko yan naabutan.
naalala ko kung yung commercial pa niyan, I think 82 or 83
Why
pa
is
yan.
it called Love Bus?
Yun, ito nga, sasabihin ko. Yung commercial ng Love Bus was, sumakay kang single, pagbaba mo, may nahanap ka ng true
Partner
love.
ka
Kaya,
na.
why not?
Dahil sa bus.
Oo, yun ang premise ng commercial. Why not take the bus, malay mo, mahanap mo yung true love mo. Kaya Love Bus.
Kaya Love Bus.
Oo,
And
tsaka-
it was initially the program
Yeah.
of former First Lady.
Imelda Marcos.
Yes.
Oo. So, ang trip niyan is from Cubao to Makati and back to Cubao.
Pero kung kailan yan dito sa Metro Manila, hindi pa natin alam.
Oh, I hope they do it here because given yung inadequate...
Why was it stopped yung operation? Bakit nila tinigil?
It slowly faded out because a lot of bus companies started coming in. So the need for the subsidized Love Bus by supposed governor of Metro Manila, Imelda Marcos. Ganon ang tingin nila sa sarili niya. Yun ang pwesto niya, governor of Metro Manila. They didn't need that anymore. Kasi there were buses that were private companies, California Bus Lines, lahat nagpasukan na. So it just faded on its own. Pero they maintained a couple of these on the road just to maintain yung iconic stature ng
I think
bus.
nagkaroon din sila ng mga operational dilemma eh.
Oo, kana naubusan
Along
ng
the
pondo along the way, so a lot of other things. Meantime, in other news, the Education Department has launched the Paaralang Bukas Dashboard, a transparency portal designed to give the public a clearer view of school performance and needs. Education Secretary Sani Angara said the platform makes data on enrollment, facilities, spending, and learning outcomes more accessible. DepEd officials added that the initiative promotes accountability and collaboration, aligning with open government partnership. Through the dashboard, stakeholders can help identify schools that need more support in improving facilities, resources, and student performance.
Fans of hit series Seducing Drake Palma got a special treat as the cast brought their energy and kilig to the National Teachers College. The details in this report by Mobile Journal, Denise Valdesancho.
The cast of Seducing Drake Palma brought excitement to the National Teachers College last Friday, August 22, as part of their school tour.
I was very happy na very supportive sila and that the fact that nanonood din sila ng Seducing Drake. I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful sa lahat na nanonood.
The energy rose even higher when Rabin Angeles and Angelo Muji took the stage.
Na-enjoy ko yung performance ko kasi buhay na buhay yung crap.
Sobrang saya ko kasi sobrang daming tao tapos parang kada lyrics na kanta sinasabayan nila. Ang daming tao, sobrang saya dito.
Adding to the excitement, the cast performed and interacted with select fans in a meet and greet. Now on its 11th episode with 5 more to go, the drama is heating up.
So far, medyo nagiging pabigat na yung scene.
Pabigat na pabigat talaga every episode. Parang,
May tampuhan ng malala.
selos na si Drake.
Pero mas lalala.
Meanwhile, Dylan Minor teases fans with his upcoming project, Project Low-Key, alongside Jada Avanzado and Marco Gallio.
It's interesting. It's not your love, romance comedy. It's different. It's mystery, thriller. It's very different. Murder, it's very different. It's a different genre. It's a different story. And it's very interesting kasi it's a Wattpad adaptation.
Fans can catch episode 12 of Seducing Drake Palma this Friday, August 29, streaming exclusively on Viva One Studios' official app, Viva One. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho. We are One News.
Alex Ayala made history by defeating world number 14 Clara Tauson of Denmark in the opening round of the US Open in New York. Trailing 1-5 in the deciding set, the 20-year-old rallied to win 5 straight games and clinch the tiebreak in a thrilling comeback. The win marks Ayala's first advancement to the second round of a Grand Slam after early.
Congratulations.
Ayun. Ay, congratulations. Moving up the ladder.
Historical win.
Yeah, it's a opening round win, but this is a major tournament, the US Open kasi. And it's first Filipino to
Naiyak
ever
siya
do
sa
it.
floor ng
Although yung mga ibang tournament lumaban siya, but those were not major tournaments. Ito US Open to eh. US Open to eh. Happy National Heroes Day today.
Yes.
Today is a holiday
Yep.
for the nation, commemorating all the heroes that fought for us.
Who's your favorite hero?
Ang dami.
Like,
Siyempre, mami ko, di ba?
Oo nga naman.
Oy,
Iconic June Keithley Castro.
Oy, ano siya, certified
EDSA
hero siya by the Historical
Yes,
Commission. Yeah.
oo.
Alright, anyway, before we let you go, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote para sa mga hilig mambintang. Judging others, we blind ourselves to our own evil and to the grace which others are just as entitled as we are. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, kaya wag humusga. And that wraps up today's episode of News and Views.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.